That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. We have two more speakers before the time expires, and then we'll take the rest at the end of the council meeting. We have Ali Hassan.
That's for sure.
Two more. The first people that were here don't get to speak.
Good evening, council members and whoever else came. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. I just want to say a few things before I start. First of all, the word Sharia just means law. Saying Sharia law is saying law. So it seems like there's quite a large group of individuals here who are intellectually inept. And if that word is too big for them, intellectually inept, I'll say it again, you can Google it later. But other than that, it is incredible that individuals who are charged with beating cops with bats are allowed to come to this city and say that they are going to take a holy book and burn it. This is not free speech, and this is not hate speech. This is speech that will initiate violence. That is correct. This will initiate violence. You are coming to come and burn a book that Muslims hold very dear to their heart. And another thing, Dearborn is historic. It is done many great things. In 2023, it received a silver award for environmental friendliness. The silver award in environmental friendliness by the state of Michigan. It has one of the largest indoor historic museums. And to say that individuals can come and harass your citizens and who have beaten your cops. They want to talk about the protesters didn't respect your cops. No, in fact, that is false, and it's a tukokoi, it's a logical fallacy. It is a logical fallacy because they themselves do not respect the police officers here. One individual was policed. He was put into jail for 4 years because of that. It is pathetic. It is pathetic. And it should not be allowed. By no means necessary. And for us as Muslims, we believe in justice, and we also believe in saying justice no matter who it's against. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu qawwamina bil qist.
You have 30 seconds.
Whether it be against yourselves or anyone, each one of us should look whether or not we are being true individuals of service. And Muslims are indeed peaceful. Indeed peaceful. Islam itself means to submit. The derivative is salam, which means peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Council, for a few minutes. My name is Elabas Farhat. I'm the state representative for the city of Dearborn. And I thank you folks all this time. Congratulations on those of you that won re-election just recently. You know, a lot of people want to tell us what Dearborn is and what it means to live in the city of Dearborn. They think it's prudent that we tell them what Dearborn is. Because Dearborn has been a proud and continues to be a proud American city. A city that is rooted in the core values that America was founded on, those of community. Families came here from every corner of the world, Arab Americans included. So before that was the Italians, before that the Irish. And for years they continued to call Dearborn home. They came here to build up America, to build up that story that we all are a part of.
What do you mean?
This is a city where generations have worked hard, raised families, served in our military. It is a city that has helped build up the industry of our nation. And during the Great World War, Dearborn was part of the arsenal of democracy. We stood up when the nation called. This city helped meet that that moment, and its people helped meet that moment. But now, and for too long, Dearborn has been turned into a political soundbite for those that are looking to pick up cheap points on the backs of the hardworking families in this city. They've been made to feel unsafe in their own neighborhoods, in their own homes. They've been made to be worried to walk down the streets. And I want to compliment our police department, actually, who's done a remarkable job keeping our house of worship safe, our schools safe, and making sure that people can still respect and appreciate a response time, despite all the shenanigans and cheap political points people want to bring to our city. The city of Dearborn is stronger than the division that surrounds us. We've seen this time and again. This council has seen it time and again. The residents have seen it time and again. But I will just say, we're sick of it. We're tired of these games. We're tired of the political football. If you truly want to get to know the city of Dearborn, gladly stop by any of the establishments, any of the hospitality. Come tour the Arab American Museum, which is a museum, by the way. It's not a mosque. For those, I know there was some confusion, like, it's a museum. You can learn about history and the heritage and the story, not just the Arab Americans, but the story of America. And that is what our city is. Dearborn is an American city. It'll continue to be a proud American city. It'll continue to be a city that demonstrates what the very best of
You have
us
30
can
seconds.
be. I appreciate that reminder, Mr. Clerk. So thank you for that. And again, I just implore this council and I implore the residents of the city to continue leading in that model we know Dearborn is and that Dearborn will continue to be. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, so at this time, we have exhausted our 30 minutes of public comment. All the cards that I do have, those that are keep coming up, we will keep them there. And bring them forward at the end of the meeting, okay? At this time, Mr. Clerk, can we proceed to, I believe, item, well, before we proceed, to the consent agenda, are there any items that any member wish to remove from the consent agenda and discuss individually? Okay, Mr. Clerk, can we move forward on number 9?
Item number 9, resolution in need of offer and support.
Offered by Councilwoman Herrick, supported by Councilman Paris. That's the mic.
This is to approve all the items on the consent agenda and requesting immediate effect.
Okay, any questions or comments? All right, Mr. Clerk, can we have the roll?
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
Councilmember Mahmood.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
Councilmember Paris.
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi.
Yes.
Councilmember Herrick.
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
7 yeas, the resolution passes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we go to the next item of business?
Yes, the next item of business will be item number 28, resolution by council members Abraham and Enos approving the minutes of the previous regular meeting of October 21, 2025.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Are there any additions, deletions, or modifications to these minutes? All right, any questions or comments? Hearing none, a unanimous roll shall be attached. Officers. Chief.
She watch her stream and clip it.
All right, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 29, ordinance number 25, that's 1861, introduced by Council President Pro Tem Herrick. Synopsis, an ordinance to amend the administration chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending sections 2-476 to 2-490.3 at Division 7 entitled Historic Preservation Commission. Resolution by Council Members Hammoud and Paris to table the ordinance.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The preservation of historic properties and landmarks is controlled by the local Historic Districts Act, PA 169 of 1970. The existing ordinance was adopted in 1998. Study sessions to amend this ordinance were conducted in various months in 2020, as well as 2021, 2024, and most recently October 2025. The proposed ordinance was last presented to the council for consideration in 2021, but did not have support at that time. The first step in the process is to appoint a historic district committee, which will be done by the legislative council here after the passing of this ordinance. The next step is to create, after that, would be to create a historic district commission, which oversees and regulates historic districts in the city and is responsible for reviewing federal guidelines and focusing on scale and delegating minor work. This is the first of 2 readings. I know we do have a couple people here from the historic district to speak on this. And Mrs. Harmon?
Yes.
Yeah, you can step forward first.
Harmon. I live at 22278 Morley Avenue. I am president of Morley Area Residents Association. I'm also part of the historic Dearborn Preservation Group. I want to thank you for bringing this forward. It's taken more than 5 years to do it. And this is regular business, and I appreciate that Dearborn lives its way. And I appreciate every one of you and every one of our police who is here today who's giving us.
Thank you, Ms. Harmon. Maria, yes.
My name is Maria Figueroa. You've seen me up here before talking about this. I'm going to echo what Nancy said, that we appreciate your taking this up. And hopefully we can get past, and we can provide a path forward for preservation in the city.
Thank you very much for all your work, Maria, and I appreciate you coming tonight. And I know that I had promised you that this would come forward. I apologize it took so long, but I know we had conversations and we met individually with our legal department, and I think you understood how much work it took and why we had to delay. But, you know, it's still better here than not, and hopefully we'll get it passed and get things going in the right direction. Thank you for staying after us. Mr. Mendelson, our corporation counsel, deputy corporation counsel, is not here today.
I just want to say you did a tremendous amount of work.
Mr. Rover is
Just threatened us repeatedly.
Well, anyway, huge thank you for that also.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, is there anyone else here to speak on the historic district? Okay, if not, then.
This guy took Jake's seat, refused to get up. Muslim guy was threatening us.
Thank you, Council President. I'd just like to say how much I appreciate my colleagues on council, and especially the residents who have persisted with helping provide us with accurate information, connecting us with resources at SHPO, the State Historic Preservation Organization. Again, Brad and our Corporation Council. This has been a long time in coming, passing this historic district ordinance. And it's been changed, the name is Historic Preservation Ordinance Commission Ordinance. What it does is it defines the steps that are needed if an individual wants to try to protect a historic resource, a single building, or a neighborhood wants to seek preservation status as a whole neighborhood. It just sets the path that they must follow in order to get that designation. Public input is required along the way, a couple of public meetings. And then ultimately it's up to the city council if that historic designation is given to that single building resource or a neighborhood.
At the end, we're gonna just
But what it does is it gives that neighborhood or the owner of that property advantages when it comes to applying for tax credits and other possible grants, that kind of thing, when it receives recognition at the higher level, at the state level. So the language in our ordinance had to comply with state regulations. That's part of why it took time. We had an ordinance on the books already, but it wasn't up to date. And we had to update the language, but we also had to do a lot of public education as to what the ordinance is. It doesn't automatically make any designations of a neighborhood or a home as historic. It just defines the pathway that must be taken if somebody wants to seek that designation as historic. As Council President has said, you know, if something's 50 years old, it doesn't necessarily mean it deserves recognition. You know, this also gives us some guidance as to what might deserve recognition. You know, what makes a property unique. You know, what are its features that deserve preservation. What story does that tell? And so that was a lot of education for my fellow council members and myself as well along the way. And I'm so glad that we're finally here. So again, thank you to Corporation Council, especially Brad, the time that he took, and the public input that we had along the way. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman.
Yeah, so I appreciate you thinking legal, because I know this is something, even from the first day I took office, I think this was a topic, was whether we'd update the historic preservation ordinance. And then I do want to say thank you to Nancy and Maria. I think Preservation Dearborn was one of the few groups that actually kind of put on a full educational session and brought in experts about the topic and ordinance that they were looking to pass. And I mean, I, as a policy nerd, really appreciated all the work that you guys put in over what has been many years worth of advocacy, and I just want you guys to know we did listen. And I think for me personally on this ordinance, finding that balance between property rights and historic preservation and the rights that people have to their properties was something that was very important to me. And I think the nice thing about the way that we've written this ordinance is it does allow, I think, a really great balance that we also got approved by the state as far as the process is concerned. So hopefully, I mean, as we continue going through and figuring out which parts of the city or which buildings we'd like to designate as historic, I think it's going to be good because we're going to have professionals to kind of take a look at exactly what makes the building historic, and then that group is also going to be separated from the actual administration of the regulations that we're going to be putting on people if they do end up in a historic district or in a historic resource. And I think that's like a really great balance that we've been able to find. So, credit to the council too. I think it sounds like we also are generally on the same page on this one. And like I said, I can't stress to you guys how long it took for us to get here. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Any other comments from my colleagues? All right, Mr. Clerk, can we have the first reading?
This is the first reading of ordinance number 25-1861, an ordinance to amend the administration chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending sections 2-476 to 2-490.3 of Division 7, entitled Historic Preservation Commission.
Okay, Mr. Clerk, we have unless we have an objection, unanimous roll shall be attached. Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 30, ordinance number 25-1862, introduced by Council Member Paris. Synopsis: an ordinance to amend section 9.02 of ordinance number 06-1111 of the City of Dearborn by rezoning the property located at 2727 South Gully Road from an IB, which is medium industrial, to an IA, light industrial zoning classification. Resolution by Council Members Enos and El-Sawafi to table the ordinance.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The purpose of this rezoning is to support local businesses and reduce the intensity of the industrial zoning area that abuts a city park. The property is approximately 4.5 acres and contains 72,700 plus square feet on a one-story structure used for an indoor recreational facility, the Dearborn Racket and Health Club. The proposed rezoning is also consistent with the parcel's future land use designated as a mixed-use center, artisan and innovation. The rezoning will help bring the existing use of the property into conformity with the zoning districts in indoor recreation centers and permitted uses within that IA zoning districts, subject to a special land use standards. This is the first of 2 readings. This is very consistent to what we've been doing throughout the city and rezoning these buildings. Any questions or comments? Councilman Moore?
Yeah, just props to ACD and the mayor's office for helping push this through, because I think anytime we can downzone areas or buildings near parks, I think it's a big win for the health of residents. So thank you guys.
All right, thank you. Mr. Clerk, can we have the first reading?
This is the first reading of ordinance number 25-1862, an ordinance to amend the section 9.02 of ordinance number 06-1111 of the City of Dearborn by rezoning the property located at 2727 South Gully Road from an IB to an IA zoning classification.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Unanimous roll shall be attached unless I hear any objections. Hearing none, so is attached. Next item.
Item 31, resolution by Council Members El-Sawafi and Paris awarding a contract to Partners in Architecture in the amount of $164,720 for the design of new police locker rooms and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The main locker room is needed to be completely renovated, both in the men's and women's locker room, as well as the restrooms and shower facilities are in need of complete renovation. The police department personnel currently utilizes a women's locker room. The women's locker room contains 29 lockers, with only 8 available for future personnel. The space is limited, and the expansion is extremely challenging. The evaluation team, on behalf of the Dearborn Police Department, recommends an award of contract to Partners in Architecture, or PIA, for design of new locker rooms. The contract shall be for one-time purchase. The requested amount is $164,720. Any questions or comments on this? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 32, resolution by council members Hamud and Paris awarding a contract to Key Construction in the amount of $1,418,063 with a 5% contingency in the amount of $70,903 for construction services for the fire department training and emergency management facility.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The city of Dearborn has been awarded a $500,000 grant from the Wayne County Land Grant to fund a rehabilitation and renovation of a vacated animal shelter. The city of Dearborn has completed phase 1 of the renovation plans of the old animal shelter to convert into a training and emergency operations management facility for our fire department. An RFP, or request for bid, was conducted for the construction services for phase 2 of the renovation. One proposal was received from Key Construction and determined to be the lowest and most responsible bidder. Purchasing on behalf of the fire department recommends the award of the contract and the construction services for the fire department training center to emergency management center to Key Construction. The requested amount is $1,418,063. $958.63 was from a grant, and $460,000 from the Wayne County Land Bank. Any questions or comments on this? Any objections to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 33, resolution by council members Hamud and El Sawafi awarding a contract to McCarthy and Smith in an amount not to exceed $518,130 for construction management services for the renovation of Esper Library and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The planned renovation and service enhancement at the Esper Branch Library is a unique opportunity to positively impact the Dearborn community, particularly through a focus on STEM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Purchasing on behalf of the library recommends an award of a contract for construction management services and renovations of the Esper Library to McCarthy and Smith for phase 2 of the renovations, which will be selected through the MCD Architects as the lowest responsible bidder. This contract will include construction management in the library, and we will return to the council for approval for subcontracting prices on this section. The requested amount is not to exceed $518,130 and is requesting immediate effect. Any questions or comments on this? Councilman Hamud?
So, I had the opportunity to tour the Esper Library today with our library deputy director and our
This is what we call a
deputy director.
filibuster.
And I think one thing that struck me is, you hear about the library conditions, but getting to see it for yourself, you realize the building still has quite good bones, regardless of the things that I've heard on social media and from other people who work in the city. And I think this is a great project, and I really appreciate that, that they're able to kind of start progressing on it finally, because I think that building has a lot of potential with the renewal of the Warden Avenue corridor and kind of the new focus on community spaces, and also I think the new kind of initiative that I think we're all trying to focus on, which is Dearborn's for Families, right? I think the renewal and enhancement of the Esper Branch Library very deeply falls into our priorities as going into this next administration. I'm really looking forward to continue seeing what kind of comes out of this contract, but also the project, and as it goes forward, the work that they're going to be doing, and hopefully progressing in a quick pace to get it open as soon as we can for East Dearborn. So thank you guys so much, and honestly, good luck.
Thank you. Councilman Herrick?
Thank you, Council President. And I echo my fellow councilman's sentiments regarding the repurposing, reuse, renovations on our library branch. This is an example of how libraries are not the traditional libraries, that if you have not been in the library in many years, they're not the same as they used to be. They're not just a place where you get hushed and there are books on the walls. There are all kinds of interactive opportunities at the branch itself, as well as, and there will be here, again, for STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and art and math. Family-friendly places where people can come and enjoy time together, learning and experiencing things together. So definitely the next step in the library world as a community hub. And I can't wait to see what we have there going forward, because again, it'll be not just for the families who live nearby, but it'll be a place to visit, no matter where you live in Dearborn, or if you're from outside of Dearborn, come to visit, because it certainly is the new age of libraries. So thank you for the vision,
Appreciate
for
it.
administration.
It's a
I don't know if
filibuster.
Dr. Hawkins had left, one of our board members, but I know her son is here, but that's okay. We want them on. Can we have-
Nobody in this
can we
room
have-
cares. Everyone in this room is
can
from
we
the
have our
protest.
new interim library director step
The whole
forward? Or
room is
Chief,
from
maybe
the
you want to introduce,
protest.
we'd like
Nobody
to have
gives
you
a
come
fuck
in
about the library.
and just introduce yourself to the council. So if some people are not aware, that we did have our library director had completed her term, and we do have a search. We have Dr. Hawkins, okay, one of our board members. So, Dr. Hawkins, would you like to step forward and just introduce her and just let us know? I really appreciate the work that your board has been doing.
Well, thank you for this. I would have dressed more appropriately. I was setting the first people in charge.
Yes.
I would like to introduce Patty. Don't ask me to pronounce her last name. But Patty was just recently appointed the interim director for our library.
Excellent.
And since then, put her running shoes on and is just moving forward. And just the last 2 weeks, we have seen the work of the Esper Library really moving forward. And so we're excited at what she will do when she partners with Mr. Hawkins, because the Esper Library, it created a team.
Excellent.
So, thank you.
We do appreciate it. Nothing moves forward without a team. Patty, you want to pronounce your last name?
My name is Patty Konzakowski.
It's not that hard.
This is Dearborn.
Probably worked for
Definitely do.
25 years.
All right.
And I'm excited to take on this new role. I want the best for the library system in the city and hopefully, so thank you.
Well, we thank you for stepping forward and hopefully you put your name in the hat. I know it's an extensive process. A lot of the residents don't know our library budget is near $10 million. We do believe in our libraries in the city of Dearborn, and under the mayor's direction and reinvestment into our libraries, we're seeing that firsthand. So we do appreciate all the work we do, and there's no great city without a great library.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, I think we got that. All right, any other questions or comments? Okay, Councilman Paris?
Thank you, Council President. I'd be remiss in saying though too, the Esper Library for the renovation that's gonna take a period of time. Not too long ago, we finished with the Centennial Library, and then now we got the Bryant Library that's next up. So we've had a lot of upgrades to our facilities and bringing them up to date, and it's been pretty exciting. So
Make sure to sub to the
appreciate the
channel,
work of the
guys.
library
There's a
division,
filibuster.
our new library interim
Nobody cares
director,
this much
and
about the
DPW. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other questions or comments? Okay, unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 34, resolution by council members Paris and Enos, authorizing a cooperative contract purchase via cooperative contracts with the library network, the Midwest Collaborative for Library Services, and the Michigan Library Competitive Directors Association, from Midwest Tape LLC, Ingram Library Service, Baker and Taylor, Cengage Learning Inc., W.T. Cox, Overdrive, and Press Reader, in a total amount not to exceed $497,000 for the purchase of a variety of library materials for fiscal year 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk, and thanks for reading those, all those names in there.
Yes.
The library selection staff purchased a wide array of new materials annually. Naming some of the clerk name as well as borrowing from other public libraries. Some titles are replacement copies, but the majority of them are new titles recently purchased or released. Also including our digital titles such as e-books, streaming videos, and e-audio materials. The library continues to participate in the cooperation purchase agreements through the Michigan Library Collective Directors Association, the Library Network, and the Midwest Collaboratory of Library Services, which allows the libraries to leverage collective buying power, reduce costs, and expand availability to the community. Purchasing on behalf of the Library Department recommends the purchases of a variety of library materials via a cooperative contract. The total amount of the purchases is not to exceed $497,000 for this fiscal year 2026. Any questions or comments? Any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 35, resolution by council members Abraham and Enos awarding a contract to Civic Brand in the amount of $119,500 for branding and marketing services for the city of Dearborn beginning January 1, 2026, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The city of Dearborn is seeking a creative and qualified branding and marketing firm to develop a comprehensive and unified branding identity for the city. The selected vendor will be responsible for creating a strong visual identity, brand standards, and a brand manual. The project will include a strategic public rollout plan for introducing the new brand across the city channels, events, and materials. Additionally, the city is seeking a short-term and long-term marketing strategy that identifies the most effective marketing channels. The city will be utilizing a portion of a previously approved service credit received through Cashapp Technology Group, a totaling for an amount of $350,000. The service credit was received as part of marketing initiatives as part of the city's agreement to pivot technology services provided by Google. Communications in conjunction with the purchasing and strategy recommends an award of this contract for the branding marketing services in the amount of $119,500. The contract will begin work January 1st, 2026, and should continue through the end of 2026 as the project progresses. Immediate effect is being requested. Any questions or comments on this? Any objection, unanimous roll? Okay, unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 36, resolution by council members Osawafi and Paris, authorizing the finance director to recognize the 2026 Michigan State Police Grants and Community Service Division Burn Justice Assistance Grant funding in the amount of $53,785 in the general fund. Police Administration Intergovernmental State Revenue Account 101-2410 330.04-90 and appropriate the same in the General Fund Police Administration Account 101-241-511.98-00 and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Dearborn Police Department applied for and received a federal grant from the Michigan State Police Department from the Byron Justice Grant Assistant, or JAG. This award for 2026 calendar year was an amount of $53,785. And this is a reimbursement grant with no local match required by the city of taxpayers. The grant will be utilized to facilitate and education and innovation program in the 19 district court, community partners, and schools. A driving simulator from Oakland Community College will allow students to experience realistic driving scenarios and learn all about the dangers of reckless and distracted driving. We all know we need that. It is requested the finance director be authorized to appropriate the same in the police revenue into a federal revenue appropriate the same as well.
It's called Philip String. They're just
Any
going
questions
as long
or
as they
comments on
can,
this
so
one?
we can't talk.
Any objection to the unanimous roll?
They're hoping they'll leave.
Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 37, resolution by council members Herrick and Osawafi authorizing the Communications Department to consolidate 2 part-time CDTV positions for the creation of 1 new full-time position as a multimedia design strategist with a budgetary increase in the amount of $12,000 after fiscal year 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Since the beginning of 2025 calendar year, the Communications Department and the Mayor's Office have identified the increasing need for more support in a variety of multimedia services, including but not limited to graphic design, illustration, motion graphics, animation, videography, and any other artistic projects. Only the part-time technology specialist position is currently being filled by an employee. The Communications Department is requesting approval to combine the positions currently held by the part-time marketing assistants and part-time technical specialists to a total of 1.4 FTEs under the CDTV division to create 1 new full-time position with the intention of hiring a multimedia design specialist using a newly created full-time slot. Due to the timing and the department vacancies, the request is budget neutral and remain for the fiscal year 2026. The estimated budgetary increase on this annual basis will be $12,000, including the salary and benefits of this position. So I do appreciate this. I was not here Thursday, Mayor, and I know the council had pushed this through. This is definitely needed, And I know that through our staff, I know Jackie's not here, Kara's here, but through our staff, we've also reached out to a lot of times the communication department. So hopefully we'll be able to reach out on this as well, to cost share when we have to design something. So I do think this is definitely good stuff. Hopefully that shouldn't be an issue. No, I don't think, Mayor, then we don't have to codify anything like this, correct? Okay, it's just a good point of interest that we share services, especially for small things like this. The council doesn't do as much of this media aspect, but when we do, this will help us as well. So it's well needed and appreciated. Any questions or comments? Any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 38, resolution by council members Enos and El Sawafi granting permission for the Dearborn Goodfellows volunteers to sell their newspapers at intersections in the streets throughout Dearborn, beginning Friday, December 5th through December 7th, 2025, for their annual No Child Without a Christmas collection and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. It's that time. Annual request for the grant of the Dearborn Goodfellows volunteers permission to work on various intersections throughout the city of Dearborn to sell annual Goodfellow newspapers is a great tradition in Dearborn. All the proceeds from this event will go directly to provide Christmas gifts and basic necessities to underprivileged individuals and families in our community. This year's event will be held Friday, December 5th, and immediate effect is being requested. Is anybody here from the Goodfellows? And George, where are you going to be at?
I'll be at the corner of Outer Drive and Cherry Hill.
Outer Drive and Cherry Hill. 7 a.m.?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. So if you guys see somebody out there with the papers, stop and get one. It's a great cause, tremendous opportunity. If you have a chance to check the websites for Goodfellows, packaging, there's a lot to do. We have somebody here from the Goodfellows who'd like to address it.
Absolutely. My name is Silvio Davis. I am the immediate past president of the Dearborn Goodfellows. Just want to say thank you to council, the administration,
Aaron
all
Holiday,
of
thank
our
you for becoming a
departments
member.
all come together to make sure that
They're filibustering.
1,000
We were
plus
the
kids
first
that we
ones in
serve
here,
every year
and we filled our
break in this
speakers.
community. So it's
They let
a group
everybody
effort.
over
Thank you so much for the
made
support.
sure that they
It makes us
that was a
happy every
topic.
year. So, yeah, watch out for us on the 5th and 6th and 7th. Be out there, have your pocket change ready, and please support us in that.
Yeah, it's a great event. I've done it for many years. Honestly, I didn't do it the last couple. It's getting up there in the cold, and I did have somebody, Mr. Davis, drop a large dollar amount in there, ask for change. I said, "There's no way I'm putting my hand in here to get change."
Oh, yeah, tell me about it.
Too late. I'll give you your number.
Give him my number, yeah.
All right. Great cause, folks. Great cause. Dearborn Goodfellows have been around forever, and they do a tremendous amount of work. So we appreciate it. So
We're trying
I'm
to
really
stall
glad we got this item in.
so we can't speak.
Councilman Derrick?
Thank you, Council President. Thank you, Mr. Davis, for your service with the Goodfellows, as well as the other good things you do in our city. I just wanted to share, I've been collecting on our city clerk's team for, 15 years with the Goodfellows, and I just wanted to share part of what I find most rewarding about it is when, yes, we get donations as people pass by with the cars and throw the money in our stockings for the Goodfellows. But when we have an opportunity to have a conversation with somebody who's making a donation and they talk about the impact that the Goodfellows made on them as a child, often it's, adults who are, 60, 70 years old. This is how long the tradition has gone on in Dearborn. And, they went through hard times. Their families went through hard times when they were children. And sometimes they had single moms or, Great Depression, all these things. But Goodfellows were there to help make sure that they had something in their stocking for Christmas. And they remember it from their childhood, that their parents would say, this is thanks to the Goodfellows. And so even if these folks are now passing us and putting money, in our stockings to help others, they're doing it because they remember what an impact it made on their lives at a very difficult time. And for some of the folks that give us $1 or $2, it's not easy for them. They're coming in and they're watching their pennies as well today, but they know how important that is. And today, Dearborn has changed over the years. Our populations have changed, but the Goodfellows continue to serve. And so the children who are in need today come from all different kinds of homes, and you don't necessarily recognize that when you see them, going to school or in the, out and about in the community at the parks. But we have a lot of children whose families are in need, and thank you to the Goodfellows for making sure that no child goes without a Christmas.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Eno.
My team will be at the corner of Carlisle, Pelham, and Outer Drive, so feel free to drop by and drop off some money.
There you go. You do get a paper with that too. Councilman Wu.
So I guess for Gary and for Sylvia, do you guys already have the dates for packing night and,
They're keeping this guy here just
We
to
do,
help us.
yeah, so, we'll start off with, I guess, all the dates. So November 24th is our annual luncheon kickoff, where we do our, large photo that goes on the, front of the paper. So that'll be at Park Place, November 24th at 11:30 sharp, followed by the, luncheon. And then, our paper sales kicks off with, the 5th, 6th, and 7th. We'll be out there selling on the corners, and then packaging and delivery. So we package the gifts at Village Board Body Shop, same as the last previous years. That's going to be on December 19th at 6 p.m. And then the following day, the next morning, we'll be back at Village Board after we load up all the trucks, and December 20th at 8 a.m. we'll be delivering all the gifts. So it's roughly 500 households, 520 households, somewhere in there. We get right around 1,000 kids every year. So Councilwoman Barrett said we've been around 102 years now serving the community, so it's been a constant. Everybody knows that you can depend on the good fellows for that no child out of Christmas, and we've been blessed to have many successful people and business owners right here in this community that were recipients of the Dearborn Good Fellows.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
It's nice seeing the money circulate.
While you guys are here, subscribe to the channel.
Full
So
circle.
you know when I'm live on the
Yeah, full
these
circle.
things.
Appreciate that.
thank you guys.
Councilman Wu, you good?
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you.
And if you want to check out my Amazon wish list, it's also here on there.
Okay, unanimous vote to be finished. Next item.
It's been
Item
broken by
39,
protesters.
by Councilmembers Harris and Enos, authorizing the mayor's office to renew the
Peaceful warrior,
citywide
thank you for
membership
$10 super
with the
chat.
Conference of Western Wayne in the amount of $12,185 for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. Requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The membership of the Conference of Western Wayne provides the city of Dearborn a collective voice in the nation's capital on federal policy and advocacy issues that concern our city. Membership also networks the city's elected and top appointed officials with experience and ability of municipal leaders nationwide, and provides us access to resources to promote innovation and manage common issues such as veteran homelessness, job training location programs, local water infrastructure projects, and other transportation programs. The mayor's office is requesting the authorization to renew the citywide membership of the Conference of Western Wayne for the amount for fiscal year 25-26, and the citywide membership for the amount for $12,185, which is the same as last year. Any questions or comments? All right, any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
We have a walk-on item, it's going to be item number 40. It's the resolution in need of an offer and support authorizing the mayor to execute an interlocal government agreement with the Dearborn Public Schools for the enforcement of camera-based school bus stop arm violations.
Okay, offered by Councilwoman Harris, supported by Councilman Paris. All right, I believe, Mayor, did you have anything to add to this? This one was in the past, we had brought this forward. Is there anything different? All right, any questions or comments from my colleagues? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
There are no further items on tonight's agenda.
All right, so next we got a few items from the council. I have a few things I wanted to mention. I'm going to start with our HR director, Danielle Cheney. I don't believe she's with us today, but I wanted to recognize the recent passing of her father in September for her family. It's a very tough situation when you lose a parent, and I've had the unfortunate situation of having that. Mrs. Cheney is an exceptional HR director. She is a tremendous person, and I'm sure that her father is very proud of what she's done, and we just wanted to recognize her and make sure that she knew that our condolences from the council for her and her family.
That's the mayor.
I did have a few other things before I open it up to my council members. A couple good news from Ford. Ford Motor Company, of course, our hometown Fortune 500 corporation, is introducing that they're going to be building a tremendous amount of vehicles that are being moved here to Dearborn. That is going to create an additional 900 new jobs at the Ford Rouge complex and 100 new positions in Kentucky. So we do appreciate that. I know that some of my colleagues also were able to attend Sunday, a tremendous event for the world headquarters of Ford Motor Company. being reopened and moved from Southfield, iconic building on Southfield of Michigan Avenue. It was a great event, it was very well run, and it was a great opportunity to see the new headquarters. So it does look like a coffee shop inside.
Make sure
It
you
does
interact with my
give
text,
a
guys.
younger hip vibe.
The violence
And, it's a great opportunity for Ford to reinvest in the city.
Scroll down.
And they're going nowhere at all. I want to congratulate next our Fire Chief Joe Murray, who was recently elected as president of the Western Wayne Fire Department
Don't
Mutual
my
Aid
rumbles on
Association
my
for the
ex.
10th year in a row.
Just let me, I can't make me
Chief?
rumble.
You gotta be doing a great job. We appreciate that. Yeah, the mutual aid association is a very big deal, folks. When I came on the council, I didn't realize how much we do call our mutual aids and how the communities work together. So we like to think that we're not sitting back and taking the lead, Chief, so I appreciate that. I wanted to congratulate our Dearborn resident and judge and our previous magistrate, Judge Hilal Farhat, on his appointment to the chief pro temp of the Wayne County Circuit Court. He's a great friend of mine. He's been a longstanding magistrate in the city of Dearborn and lawyer in the city of Dearborn. He was appointed to the Circuit Court a few years back, maybe 2 or 3 years back, and now has been appointed as the chief pro temp of the court. So it's a really big deal. We do appreciate it. I do have, lastly, Divine Child football team. We wanted to congratulate them tremendously. They beat the #1 seed in their division and a great football game against Harper Woods. There was coverage all over. Fortunately, I was out of town. I did see it in the papers, but I liked my colleague, Councilman Enos, who was actually at the game. He was a little bit more about that.
Great football
Go
game,
Falcons.
great football game, go Falcons. I've had the pleasure to have been to all 3 of Divine Child's playoff games. This past Saturday, they played the perfect high school football game against a team that was a heavy favorite, Harper Woods. They took the art of the football, won the time of possession battle, the field position battle, the turnover battle, and the best battle, the toughness battle. There is some old Axel guys on the staff, Dan Regan, Michael Shashanian, and his dad, former councilman Mark Shashanian. I just let that in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Dearborn guys too.
Great job by the whole staff. There was a Forza guy too. That's right. Great job by the whole staff, coaches, trainers, managers. All of you, great teamwork. You have to give the players credit for executing the game plan. They have tremendous leadership led by Marcelo Guidi, who's a throwback, tough as nails type of a football player. It was fun watching him play and having his teammates having his back the whole game. It was a great team win. Now, it doesn't get any easier as they take on defending Division IV state champion Goodrich High School at Stony Creek High School this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Go Falcons, keep scrapping. This whole city is behind you. Good luck.
Absolutely. Go Falcons. That's all from myself. Anything from my colleagues? Councilman Herrick.
I would like to give a shout out to the Michigan Lights at Camp Dearborn, Michigan Bright Lights. The council had a sneak peek at what's coming up, and the mayor may be able to give us a little bit more information about it. But here in Dearborn at Peace Park West and Peace Park East, we're going to have holiday lights. But out at Camp Dearborn, if you have an opportunity to take a drive out there, I think it rivals if you drive Hines Park to look at the lights there. Just a fabulous light show for the holidays combined with music. You can listen to it in your car as you drive through. And then they'll even have, there's certain nights that there's designated that they're going to have a drone show. We had a sample of that when we were out there last week, and it's just incredible. Beautiful experience for people of all ages, whole family, young and old. The music and the lights out at Camp Dearborn, and then at our Peace Parks coming up. And details about that are on the city website, and the mayor might want to talk a little bit about that. I also want to talk about one of my favorite holiday events at the Dearborn Historical Museum coming up on Saturday, December 5th, is the annual